What's going on, Scrub fam? This is me, 3XG, and I'm here with the exciting news that Buck Lane still doesn't have a regional. But second place in the poll that I posted was doing a deck profile on Cell. So I'm going to do that. So myself, 3XG Productions, and of course Intricate Gaming, I'm going to be bringing you another Union Force deck profile today. And this is going to be good over blue-green Cell. Definitely my first builds of Cell started off more controlling, even more removal than there are now. A bit slower draws. This one is definitely transitioning more into a mid-range deck, and I like the feel of this deck a lot more than the control deck. I feel like I have more options than I did before, and I feel like my game plan can be a little bit more diverse depending on the different matchups I play. So we can go ahead and get into the list. So let's just go straight to the blue stuff. So Energy Boosted Majin Buu, he's just a one-drop cantrip, play him, draw a card. Goodbye to have on the board to combo with. Also, one of your sources, at least one copy you're going to play to charge for blue energy when you get the opportunity to. Next, two drops, we have Yajirobe. Revenge matters, guys. In this format, revenge blockers are huge. And the reason why I've been really big about blue-green in my testing is being able to run both Courageous Heart Yajirobe as well as the other revenge blocker in the same exact deck and be able to sometimes put a wall up against an opponent that they can't get through. And with Yajirobe and even Android 16 being able to trade up for bigger threats, it makes it so your opponent doesn't want to attack you, and you can feel a lot safer sometimes if you need to tap out on a turn, especially in the early game or the mid parts of the game and your life is at a decent level. You can have these blockers on the table and you'll be pretty set to go because your opponent doesn't want to attack into them, and then they're forced to attack your leader with they're forced to attack your leader with their actual leader itself, so that helps you stay on card parity if you take a life, or if they're drawing a card with already awakened, things like that. So revenge blockers are extremely important, especially when you get the opportunity to go over the top of the opponent. I really like sometimes, even if it's just paying energy for King Vegeta's surprise attack, to buff them up a bit, just to help them survive for the turn even though they already have revenge. I really like that play. And also, of course, being able to just use combos to keep them alive after blocks if your opponent decides not to combo, especially with Android 16. But revenge blockers, really, I stress, start playtesting with them and against them. You have to get used to them because you're going to find out that these cards you have to get rid of them somehow, whether if it's attacking and letting your opponent eat one of your guys, which is definitely not the most fun feeling in the world, or it's killing them with your removal. You're going to have to spend it on these guys. Otherwise, you're going to end up wasting your cards anyway. Next, 4-drop Beerus. 4-drop Beerus is still strong going into this format. I know that people were so, crazy about Indestructible. In my testing so far, the Indestructible decks are good. I do not think that they're going to be at the top tables a lot of the time. I do think they're more so fringe. They're going to make up a small percentage of the format. I do think the decks are really good, but I just think with the stuff that we're seeing now and the way that the game is being played going into set 2, that those types of decks are not going to be able to be as consistent as other strategies. So I still think Energy Boosted Beerus is great. Pops any threat on the table that doesn't have Indestructible, and of course is just a great beater to be able to close out the game, or is just great in the mid game as well. When we go to the blue extras, we got 4 Sensu Beans. The reason why I run 4 Sensu Beans, some people like to think of this as a crutch card, which is weird, but tokens are a big deal now. Tokens in this format are real. Especially the Gotenks 5-drop, and a Sensu Bean, especially if their opponent's hand is low, almost negates all the tokens for the entire turn. So I was running 3 Sensu Beans in a while and then upped it to 4 because I definitely felt that having Sensu Bean in the tokens matchup was definitely worth it. You could see yourself switching this more to a sideboard card, especially the 4th copy if you wanted to, but I really like 4 in the main deck, and it helps you stay a little bit more efficient. If you leave a blue untapped, that means you have a lot more answers on your opponent's turn or additional plays on your turn. Least Coercion, again, I prefer this negate over full power energy. The only reason why is because I have a lot of removal in the deck already, so I really don't want to take up the extra slot. And plus, I do want extra blue cards, again, to power Beerus just in case I don't draw a Buu or Yajirobe for whatever reason that happens. I need to charge a Coercion, I can. And of course, I like being able to stay alive with multiple negates and only have 1 energy open. So I really like Least Coercion for this deck. Mafuba. Mafuba, arguably, right now, testing this set is one of the most impactful negates in the game immediately, and of course it's in blue, because why not? Why not give blue all the great cards? So with all the impactful 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s and above that are coming out of the set, Mafuba gets even better because you're essentially going to blank that card for a total of 1.5 turns. So the turn that your opponent played it, and then also the next turn. So it gives you enough time to either do what you need to do to find an answer, or just be able to stop your opponent from being able to activate an effect for a full turn, which is really helpful. This is Mafuba. I love it in Cell. I love it when I test with Cell. The main reason why is because once you awaken with Cell, you have the ability to, of course, drop 2 cards and kill something. And Mafuba gives you exactly the amount of time you want to be able to put 2 cards under Cell if you need to, and then pop something. So huge fan of Mafuba and Cell. All right. Next, we're going to the green cards. So, 4 Trunks, Protector of Children. It's your 10k boost. You have to run 4. To be honest with you, I'm getting really annoyed by how good these cards are because, like, I want to put so many cards in decks now, and I feel like it's like 4 slots automatically have to be dedicated to these cards. Which, I mean, I get it. The card's great. There's no reason not to play it, and you know, it's better than pretty much any card you can play, especially when you are awakening and everything like that. But man, I just wish I could play more cards. 3 Android 16 was at 4. I went a little bit lower on the Devotion to Green because he does take 3 green in order to get off. So, but I still really love him as a revenge blocker, mostly just because of the fact that he has the ability of when he KOs something, he untaps. So again, if your opponent attacks into him, you can combo up if they choose not to combo, keep them alive, and then you end up killing your opponent's threat and untapping 16 and block again. What I like about 16 is if your opponent does choose to attack, in order to get rid of 16, they're forced to combo and spend cards. So no matter what, Android 16 is going to net you value, or your opponent's going to use your removal on it, which is big too. Because again, that's something that's a threat they're removing the removal on that you aren't needing to win the game. So huge fan of Android 16, and of course Yadrobi as well. Next we have 3 TNs. Again, this is part of your Awaken engine. I like TN because you can play them on 2 if you want to play them on 2 if you need to get the effect. The only issue with playing them on 2 is Father Son Kamehameha out of green, which I know a lot of people were sleeping on that card, but with the amount of effects that let you play something early, it's actually really good. And so a lot of times playing him on 2 just to get 2 life gone is sometimes worth it, even if he does die, because it just helps you get closer to Awakening. Unless you're in the aggro matchup, then you can kind of take your time and not worry about it, and he just becomes a charge. And of course, we have other methods to Awaken in the deck if we need to. But otherwise, I really like TN in set 2. Brings a lot more versatility when it comes to Awakening, and just the fact that he's killing 2 cards and you can do it multiple times per turn makes it so you can get the Awaken effect when you need to, which I really like as compared to Furious Yell, where it's once per turn and you don't net a card off the deal at all. 4-drop Kale. Originally in a previous version of the list, I was running more copies of Kale. I do like her at 2. Especially since I'm running Beerus at 4. She gives me additional removal to remove small stuff and can go up to 5. So that's why I play her over Bardock or over Raging Attacker, because she can kill up to a 5-cost threat. Yes, I have to destroy one of my own cards, which most of the time is Energy Boosted Majin Buu, or it's an already tapped attacker that I had for that turn. Or if I have to, I'm killing one of my revenge blockers, which I really don't want to, but it is an option if I need to get the kill effect. And I love that she has critical, and she has the ability to draw a card if you have less cards than your opponent. So I think she's really versatile, but I do only like her at 2 because she has diminishing returns. Next we have the 5-drop Dash Pack promo cell, so Power Stealing Cell. Again, another way to Awaken, but and the effect is great because I end up drawing a card, the opponent ends up discarding a card, and of course it has Double Strike. So again, another one of our threats in the mid to late game to help close it out, and something that with the extra card in the deck, Cell's Birth, I can play on 3 if I really need to, which I love. So that's one thing about this deck that I like compared to previous versions, was I wanted some way to have ramp in the deck, but I really hated playing Objection in this format unless I was playing a leader that was netting me a card on my front side. So unless I was playing like Vegeta or Ginyu or somebody like that, because once I fell behind on cards, I didn't have any of the payoffs for having a small amount of cards in hand, and so I just ended up falling behind. And if opponents don't attack, you kind of get locked into a trap state. So I definitely prefer playing Cell's Birth instead of playing like Bulma, Whis, or Objection, and it helps save me on card slots, which I really like. Next for battle cards, we have 5-drop Super Saiyan Gotenks. Super Saiyan Gotenks still incredibly good in this format. just the 25k for 5, which you're only playing 3 energy unless you're playing against Cold Bloodless. Replacing itself, this card is still a top tier card. It's still going to be something you see in your green decks. There's no reason not to play it. And of course, we'll see even more play as the Gotenks leader comes out and things like that. But it's really hard not to play this card. It's one of my favorite cards in the game to play. There's so much value off of it. And of course, we have 3 perfect force cells at the top of the curve. The more I play with the card, the more I like it. Even outside of mono green Android 17, which that deck is incredibly good and incredibly strong. But I really like it in this deck for a few things. I can either play it on 5 with Cell's Birth if I need to close a game really quickly or need to punish my opponent for awakening earlier than I wanted to. And of course, I can play it on 6 if I want to evolve from the 5-drop cell. And then, of course, I can play it later in the game, too, as a late-game threat. And that card becomes a huge boon late game, especially if your opponent had started rebuilding resources again, because it's just going to cut them down to 3. A lot of times when you play that cell in the late game, you're pretty much ending the game, especially if you have at least 2 attackers on the table, because you're going to be able to swing multiple times. Your opponent's only going to have 3 cards. And if they keep 3 negates, all their negates are gone. And so now they have 0 cards in hand going into their turn, so the likelihood of them killing you, as long as you have some energy open and some life left, you're pretty good to go. So the green extras, I run 3 Cell's Birth, contemplating going up to a 4th copy because of how effective it is, being able to play the 5-drop cell on 3 or the 7 on 5. But right now 3 feels like a good number for me. Then I run 2 King Vegeta surprise attacks, really just to protect a threat that's tapped down from attacking when we decide to turn the corner and get aggressive, or again if you want to bump one of our blockers additionally. I know that we don't need the revenge part, but the plus 10k, it's just as good as playing a combo piece, but without having to give up one of our battle cards to do it. And of course, it has the flexibility of being able to do it on one of our key attackers in the deck if we need to tap them, especially Kale. You end up attacking with Kale because of the fact that she is critical, and so this is a good card to protect her because it bumps up to 30k with Revenge. And then of course protecting your Gotenks, especially if your opponent's playing an opposing Gotenks, or same thing with Beerus, or protecting your cell. So really big fan of King Vegeta's surprise attack in this format because this format is faster, and so attacks is going to happen a lot more often than you think. So this is the blue-green cell deck that I'm playing with right now. I hope you guys enjoy this deck profile. I know these are getting quicker. I'm trying to make them quicker so you guys have easy access to them. And of course, if you guys have any questions, you can ask them in the comments. If you want to talk over a deck idea that you have, feel free to message me. I always love talking over deck theory, the game itself, things like that. Please be sure to subscribe to Intricate Gaming as well as 3HG Productions. This video should be on both channels, I believe. So please take a chance, check it out. And of course, you can follow Intricate Gaming on Twitch. We just did some Twitch streaming on Tuesday, which was yesterday. We did that for a few hours on Octagon. We're going to be doing that regularly, twice a week. And we're going to be uploading videos on the Intricate Gaming YouTube a couple times a week as well. And of course, on 3HG Productions, I'm still going to be maintaining my normal schedule of uploading multiple videos per week. So again, if you guys have any feedback, things you'd like to see more of, things you'd like to see less of, if you want to hate on me, if you want to talk bad stuff, it's fine. But you just need to remember that this channel is all about me teaching you scrubs how to get good. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, thanks for subscribing. Be sure to subscribe. Okay, bye!